Greetings in the name of Yahuwah and his son Yahusha Mashiach. My name is Malak Shalomo. Today is the 3rd of October 2024. It's 7:43 p.m. Eastern Time. And I'm going to break down here a Wycoff theory distribution phase that I'm seeing here on the 1 hour chart. Right. So this phase started from around, all right, let me just make this a little smaller. Right. So we have this upward trend right here, right? This reversal from around let's see here. Let me get some dates on that. From roughly the 11th of September, right? So we have this uptrend here. Right? So pushed up here, and now we have this sideways movement, right? So this is the distribution phase I'm looking at for a continuation to the downside. Possibly, maybe we might even get a some support here at this golden top monthly zone support I have here, this zone I have right here, but that's for another video. That's dealing with monthly Camarilla levels and monthly floor pivot levels, right? So that's a support zone I have there. But I'm going to be breaking down this here as a distribution from the Wycoff theory. So let me just make that bigger again. Right, so I just wanted to give some context of where this distribution is coming from, right? So uptrend from the 11th of September, and now I'm going to break down the different levels of the distribution or how it plays out, right? So I have these levels marked out already. So this right here is the preliminary supply. So in the preliminary supply, we're looking for the first the first pullback or the first sign of supply, right? So when we hit up here at around, let's see what level was this. So this exact level was 57.78.75, right? So when we hit that level, we came back down here. We made a low of 57.48.25, right? So you see that wick right there. Let me just make this bigger for a second. Yeah, I think I'll leave it like that for now. Right, so we pull back here. So that's the first pullback, right? So I label that as the preliminary supply. So now pushing up here, we have the buying climax, right? So the buying climax is supposed to be with heavy volume, but the buying climax actually happened, let's see, around, it was actually 1 o'clock, but the volume wasn't that big, right? The volume wasn't that great because the volume is kind of misconstrued compared to like the open volume, right? So at 9 and 10, that first hour right there is a lot of volume. So when we do hit this high right here, the volume is much less, which is around like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, right? So anyway, just the level we're looking at here, but the volume isn't really there for a buying climax. It's supposed to be a little more volume, but we're just working with the levels, right? So this here is the buying climax at 57.97.50, right? So label that buying climax. So you see that red line going across there. So that's the buying climax. And this is a 1 hour chart, by the way. So after the buying climax, you're supposed to get this pullback here. And when we bottom out, you label that the automatic reaction, right? So the automatic reaction came in at 57.33.50, right? So after that, now we're looking for the uptrust to take place, right? So this is the highest level here. We have uptrust at 58.30 at when was that? That happened on the 26th of September, right? So after that, we pull back into the range, right? So after the uptrust, we're looking for another uptrust. So the uptrust is basically price action that moves above the buying climax, right? And tops out. So we got this uptrust, and this now is the uptrust after distribution. So this is considered a distribution, upthrust after distribution, right? So that's the first upthrust. This is upthrust after distribution, right? So when we got that now, what we're starting to look for to identify or to identify if it's really a distribution phase is we're starting to look for lowest points of supply, right? So after the upthrust, after distribution here, which topped out at what, 58.2250, right? So after that, we had that pullback into the range, and we have our first pull up, right? Or retest, right? So it's retesting this breakdown level here, and it's retesting the preliminary supply. So we pull back here. So I label this the first lowest point of supply, which is at 57.8375. And the lowest points of supply after the uptrust, after distribution, is basically lower highs, right? So right here, we have another lowest point of supply. So let me start opening this up a little bit. I have a few VPOC session labels in here as well, and hope that doesn't confuse you or kind of blows your vision too much. I'm trying to explain it as best as I could, right? So this is the first lowest point of supply here. After we dip down, we get the reversal. We basically retest the breakdown level or the preliminary supply, which is at 57.7875. We push above there and we get our supply, right? And we start pushing back down. Now, when we bottom out here, we push below the automatic range. I mean the automatic reaction, which is at 57.3350. This now becomes at this point in the distribution, this is now considered the ice, right? So we're looking to break down the ice. So any break below the ice is labeled a minor sign of weakness, right? Which we had at 57.24, right? So when we got that first breakdown, when we pull back up now, the highest point here is another lowest point of supply. So that was at 57.7325. Then we're looking for another breakdown to create another pullback. So when we get this breakdown, if this had broken down further than this minor sign of weakness, I would label it another minor sign of weakness, but it didn't break down further, right? We got this pullback up here. And then the reason I did not label this one as the lowest point of supply is because it didn't push further than this low. After this rejection here, we didn't push further than this low, right? So this rejection, the following candle stopped right at the ice, right? So why I would label this one the lowest point of supply here is because we got follow through that broke this low, right? So this low is lower, right? So I would label this now as the lowest point of supply. So that's labeled here at 57.6350, right? So what we want to see now for continuation is basically lower highs, right? Lower highs and lower lows. So let me just move this up a little bit. Right. So now we're looking for a breakdown of the ice again and a breakdown of this minor sign of weakness, right? Maybe we could even touch this support level here, and then we're going to pull back and create another lowest point of supply. Maybe here, maybe we might pull back into the range and test this breakdown level here. Maybe push up a little bit into the ice. But basically, we're looking for lower points of lower highs, right? Then we get something like this, another pullback, and we're supposed to get something like a flush after we break this ice and minor sign of weakness. We're supposed to get a nice strong move, something like this to the downside, right? So if we do get something like this here, we could get like a nice push to the downside after this lowest point of supply, right? So that's what I'm looking out for in for a continuation to the downside and a breakdown, or to confirm that this is it has all the labels and signs of a distribution from the what's it was the 19th, yeah, right? So preliminary supply happened on the 19th of September at 0700 hours, right, Eastern time. So since then we had all the signs of distribution, and now it's looking like we're getting these lower points of supply, and I'm looking now to get down to this level here. Now this is a monthly support area, so I'm definitely expecting, like, if I'm in a trade and we come down to this level, I'm definitely gonna try and stop out and take profit around this zone right here. But I'm looking for probably a bounce somewhere around here at 5700 basically, because that's a nice round number. So we might be looking at, when we break down this level here, to come down to 5700, get a bounce back up here, retest a minor sign of weakness, or even come back to the 3 points to the ice, and then we could get a nice move that'll probably break down, or we might even stop here a little bit, get another little bounce, and then a flush down, right? So that's the kind of price action I'm looking for. If we, well, if we don't get that and we start getting support here, right, and you build like an accumulation here, then we could probably start getting the reversal back up, right? So I'm basically looking for a breakdown into the 5600 level, probably around 5670, maybe 5675 before we start. And this is also a previous quarterly VPOC. That this was last quarter's VPOC, so it ended at 5689.75. So this could be a possible bounce right here, right? So this is what I'm looking at right now, and just trying to kind of, because I think like the Wycoff theory is the best way to break down market structure, right? And you kind of get to anticipate what might happen next, right? So I think it's one of the best technical analysis kind of theories you could break down the market structure with, right? So yeah, that was my video right there on a Wyckoff theory potential distribution, and it has all the signs here. We have the uptrust after distribution, and we're getting lower highs right now. So, and it is peaking below the ice right here at 57.3350. So let's see if we get this continuation here. All right, y'all, it's Malek. Man, I'm messing up my own name. It's Malek Shalomo, and that was my little Wyckoff theory breakdown of the distribution phase, and let's see if it works out. All right, y'all, trade safe and stay blessed.